Greetings and welcome to the National Communication Association's annual presidential address and awards ceremony sponsored by Taylor and Francis. My name is Tina M. Harris, and I serve as the first vice president and primary convention planner for this year's 111th annual convention. Thank you. Before we begin tonight's program, I would ask that we pause for a moment of reflection. NCA would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather for the 111th annual convention in Aurora, Colorado, is the ancestral and traditional territory of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute. And this is now home to members of over 200 tribal nations. We honor the indigenous peoples who have stewarded this land since time immemorial and recognize their continued presence and contribution to our shared communities. NCA acknowledges that it has often gathered upon unceded lands and that those gatherings manifested the exclusions and erasures of many indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the grave harm that colonialism brought to these lands, in particular, the erasure of both indigenous and African identities via slavery and via racist laws that segregated all peoples into binary classifications of white and black. This acknowledgement demonstrates our commitment to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. This year, it is our honor to have Shannon Francis extend the invitation for the president to speak. Shannon is Hopi and Dene, from the southwest homelands of Arizona and New Mexico. She is from the Towering House clan born for Red Running into the Water Clan. Her Hopi clans are Masaw, Bear, Sand, and Snake Clan. Shannon comes from 12 generations of farmers, ethnobotanists, and seed keepers. As a certified permaculture designer and instructor, Shannon weaves tech, traditional ecological knowledge with innovative science. She is executive director for the award-winning nonprofit Spirit of the Sun, Inc. in Denver and is currently a 2023 Livingston Fellow through Bonfils Stanton Foundation. We are deeply grateful to have Shannon with us today. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Shannon Francis.
Good evening, everyone. Lolma. My people always do their introduction, and I'm learning both of my languages. My first language was Hopi, being brought up at the village of Kikotsmovi. And so when traditionally when we see each other around, we say, "Owanyama," and that means hello in our language, but it also means like, "Oh, you're still around, you're still alive, you're still alive." And in Dene, we say Yat Abene, which means good morning or good evening. Ki ani ashle ado tachini bashishchin ado shamasana ekani ado shachekis ani. I'm Towering House clan born for Red Running into the Water Clan. And when we acknowledge each other with our clans, we know whether we're a relative of that person or not. So when I see other Dene, I usually introduce myself so that I know if I'm their grandma, their daughter, their auntie, their granddaughter. That's how we know our relations. Land acknowledgements are more now performative than ever. And I come from a community, I was brought up in this community I'm also been part of the American Indian movement of Colorado since I was in my early 20s. So I have the foundation of being brought up with older women who were security for the movement, who were really rough women, and direct, and a lot of these women are Lakota, and I had the honor to participate in being arrested in 2007 for Transform Columbus Day to end the Columbus holiday name. And that was going on for about 35 years. So I have the foundation of being brought up with the humility, being a community servant, and what it means to be a community servant in this bioregion. And all the knowledge and the teachings of the elders who are true wisdom keepers and knowledge holders, and knowing what it means to hold and be accountable through mindfulness. The integrity, building trust, respect, relationship building, and being accountable, learning how to apologize and how to forgive. The ancestors are the multiple generations of families that have been here since the beginning of time. And I've learned the history of this bioregion as well, and the 7-generation teachings, which I think most of you have heard of, 7 generations. What we do today sets the path for the 7 generations to come. And that is my first job. Like, my first role, aside from my paid job and my family and community, is to take care of this bioregion and all of Mother Earth's living beings and relatives. That is first and foremost, because I have 7 grandchildren, and that is my first responsibility. They are my world. But essentially, traditionally, all of you are also my children. In this keeping this world in balance, that all of you are my relatives as well too. And the accountability is far greater for me. When I became a grandma, it was a different, it was like 100-fold, the responsibilities that come with that. And so it is my responsibility to talk to my grandchildren, and as long as they start walking, they start crawling, to introduce them to the plant relatives, to the water relatives, all of the elements that give us life. The pollinators, the trees, the water, fire, all of these natural elements are our relatives. I just came from a meeting today from our community. It's called the River Sisters Congreso. You can look it up. We are trying to establish personhood for the South Platte River, which is running alongside Suncor Oil Refinery. And I think a lot of the things that we're learning is the ancestral memory of water. And so water gives us, it is a life source, it holds ancestral memory, and it is our existence. So going back to land acknowledgements, I think the responsibility that I want to leave you with is do things through action and speak from your heart, because when you're breathing, your lungs give breath to life. It's our emotions and it's our thoughts that become that reality. And all I can say is all of you are an indigenous peoples from an indigenous bioregion, whether you come from Europe or Alaska, that your knowledge, your language, your ceremonies, your songs, your stories, you carry in your ancestral memory. And you can remember what those were by putting your hands in healthy soil, drinking clear water that wakes up our nervous system, and that starts the healing process that will heal trauma, heal anxiety, heal stress, and to be a better ancestor. How can you be a good ancestor? And that starts with all of the intentions that you hold today for the next 7 generations. And I just want to say our elders from where I'm from want to welcome you and want to give you good blessings and good thoughts and good intentions while you're here in Denver. And you can always be part of Spirit of the Sun and some of the other organizations that we've partnered with. We distribute a lot of food to elders in the community. I just want to say thank you for having me today, and I look forward to meeting you again soon and have a good conference, and thank all the hosts here. And I just want to say thank you, and I'm very, very blessed to be here and hopefully give you some teachings to take home. So thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Tonight, we gather to celebrate the excellence in our field and to hear from a leader who embodies our commitment to inclusive scholarship and transformative education. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce NCA's 111th president, a visionary leader who has transformed the landscape of undergraduate research, fostered diversity and inclusion in academia, and exemplified the highest standards of scholarship, teaching, and service throughout her distinguished career. Dr. Jeanetta Sims is a Hall of Fame award-winning scholar inducted into Oklahoma's Higher Education Hall of Fame in 2023 for her distinguished career spanning 3 decades. She is a former dean of 2 colleges and a current tenured professor in the College of Business at the University of Central Oklahoma. There, she teaches in marketing, communication, and leadership with a research focus on strategic communication, workforce diversity, and persuasion. She is accredited in public relations. Dr. Sims' most notable contribution to our field is the Diverse Student Scholars Program, which she founded in 2007. This interdisciplinary award-winning student research initiative, now in its 19th year, has produced over 40 funded grants, 105 plus conference presentations, 25 plus publications, and 4 National Top Papers Awards, along with recognition from the Da Vinci Institute for Creativity in Higher Education. Her scholarly excellence has been recognized through numerous university and national awards for teaching, service, and scholarship within and beyond NCA. Her research appears in multiple co-edited books, journals, and book chapters. Along with serving NCA, she serves in leadership roles for the Higher Learning Commission and Council on Undergraduate Research. She is a past president of the North American Management Society and a past president and fellow for the Marketing Management Association. She has contributed poetry and prose as the senior literary winner for Minnesota's Black Community in the 21st Century, which received the Academy of Human Resource Development's Book of the Year Award. Beyond academia, Dr. Sims is CEO of Genius in Collaboration, which provides leadership development, coaching, business consulting, and communication strategy on loss, leadership, and legacy, especially for people of faith. She serves on the board of trustees for Integris Health Baptist Medical Center, for the Edmond History Museum, and for Oklahoma Christian University, where she was named the Distinguished Alumna of the Year in 2023. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jeanetta Sims.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Phenomenal Distinguished Scholar Tina Harris, for that beautiful introduction, and many thanks to you all for tolerating its length. Shannon, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to speak, and I accept your invitation to respond. We are grateful that you took the time to be here. Okay, let me get set up for a moment. All right, so lift. I need to begin by thanking our national office colleagues. They have been fantastic, really, throughout the entire 4 years of my time serving NCA. And behind the scenes, they're an incredibly thoughtful group of individuals that are fun-loving, and I won't keep going because then I'll get in trouble. But just know, to the national office team, I'm very grateful to you. I also start by always thanking my God, because he has created a beautiful tapestry of my life revealed to me in moments. And for that, I am thankful. I want to also express gratitude to my family. I have an amazing group that not all of them are here, a few are. These two, what shall I call them, culprits? Some of you know, that's my mom and my Auntie O, and they've attended NCA prior to the pandemic for more than 12 years. And they would ask me if my papers were ready, because they wanted to travel. And so one of the favorite photos I have is Auntie O in the back of the car. Those are balloons for the Black Caucus's 50th anniversary. She was surrounded in balloons, and we got the cake and we got it there. These are my people, more of my people, my family. I love them dearly. Jackson had a basketball game today. His free throws sent them into overtime. They went into overtime, they won the game. Savion has baseball, bullpens, and my beautiful daughter, Marcel, lover of matcha and musicals, is here. So I hope you get the chance to meet her. And my wonderful friend, Donetta, has come in from Oklahoma as well. So thank you all for being a part of this journey and story. Finally, look at that. I have the distinguished honor of saying thank you to the African American NCA presidents who are before me. I stand on the shoulders of giants, and very rarely do you get to meet them, take pictures, and have proof of the history that they made that you're honored to be able to follow. So thank you very, very much for your love, your encouragement, your support, Dr. Ron Jackson and Dr. Marnell Niles-Goins, and of course, the late Dr. Orlando Taylor. All right. Well, there's always a story behind the story. A year ago, I introduced you to LIFT, and I explained the presidential crest that I designed, which has the vision of the the vision of NCA, transforming lives through communication at top, leading with imagination and forward thinking, or LIFT, and branches that are vibrant, representing our membership, moving back and forth, active, not all moving in the same direction. And then at the center, advancing communication, scholarship, teaching, and practice to foster a better world. At the bottom, it says the crest of the 111th NCA president. And that is a special nod to all of the past presidents who are before me. It is a privilege that I treasure and that I'm very grateful for. So if you go and look closely, you'll notice the letters of LIFT at the bottom of the crest are very faint. And that's because oftentimes LIFT is difficult to see, though it is hidden in plain sight. And so that is the topic for this evening. In a few brief moments, I will offer a summary a bit like a conversation and a presidential report, coupled with poems, also lessons, and a song. So buckle up. First, I want to acknowledge the intersectionality of my experience as a Christian Black woman who is heterosexual and privileged in many ways. My poems are not meant to offend. Instead, they're designed to give you a showcase of the way that I choose to be and how I have chosen to lead this year as your 2025 president. So let's get started. On paper, I look like this: BS, MA, APR, PhD. Yet hidden in plain sight is another story. Our family, though it's fantastic and phenomenal, is missing one. I was a PhD student in communication and affect, Dr. Claude Miller's course, when we discovered that our first son, Anthony, had a brain tumor. We would leave after an MRI to go to Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth. We would return after the resection for radiation, stem cell transplants, chemotherapy, and 6 months later, he would be gone. I was trying to figure out at the time what I would do and if I would continue, and I really wasn't quite sure how I would live again, or even stay among the living. So here's Stay Among the Living, and I'll try to get through this without tears. Mourn and wail for a brief time, but stay among the living, loved ones dead and gone. God chose you to stay among the living. Glorify him and carry on. Sell the possessions, rearrange furniture, reminisce or forget as you can, but relearn how to live among the living. Your life is the work of God's hand. Go from being strong to breaking down and hating yet enduring the pain, but choose to stay among the living. God's purpose for you remains. Who can know your sorrow or minimize your loss, but allow living souls to help you stay among the living. Let others help you carry your cross. Not now, but in time you'll be able to smile of all they meant and still do, to gratefully acknowledge their life, to recite all the good influence upon you. So cry as you may, the suffering subsides after a while. When it does, may you be among the living, a testimony of your godly faith and able-bodied style. So, I returned the next summer to Michael Fowles' structural equation modeling class. I didn't leave my seat because I thought if I left to go on break, I might not return. And so to this day, I appreciate Michael Fowle. I appreciate the colleagues, many of whom are in this room, that supported me and that cared for me because I have colleagues who cared. Eventually, I would finish and later serve in a variety of administrative positions. Behind the scenes, there's another story behind this story. And that's this walk taken to accept the opportunity to serve as interim dean for the Graduate College and University College at the University of Central Oklahoma. The representation on my walk to meet with the provost looked like this. And so I would be the first Black woman to serve as dean in the institution's over 120-year history. Thank you. So I learned that along with studying and researching inoculation and social influence, that I would need to write about my lived experiences in the academy for women of color so they would know and be encouraged. Because I was mentored and supported, and because UCO has a focus on transformative learning, then I founded Diverse Student Scholars and have books on transformative learning. The upcoming one, Inside Out, is with incarcerated students in the Prison Divinity Program and will be released a little bit later. In this talk, this is what impacted our convention-themed communication for greater regard. And this talk is what impacts LIFT. Wildflowers are the reason I learned about the Tulsa race riots, because Lady Bird Johnson prompted legislation to create beautification offices to improve the nation's highway appearance. And so I was an intern in the beautification office at the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. On my lunch break, I went to the state library and discovered a book I had never seen before about the Tulsa race riots in Oklahoma, just an hour away from my home. So wildflowers is the reason. Reactance was the explanatory theory that grounded the talk. And the hope is John Hope Franklin, whose Mirror in America provided connections and historical accounts of what was experienced. It was a rich, truthful account, a scholarly conversation with Q&A among students that was streamed on Facebook for the Office of Diversity and Inclusion's account. Yet, the shifting legislation has the Facebook page removed and the talk erased as if it never existed. The truthful account of an important commemoration is gone, and I was frustrated. I would cry if I could. I would cry if I could, but the tears won't come. Weary days and saddened soul won't go away. I would scream if I could, but the words won't come. Muted voice and vocal cords and sound all delayed. I would dance if I could, like Queen Bee, but the heart won't sway. Lifeless legs, motionless arms, and hips that just stay. I would sing if I could, but the notes won't rise. No song nor music for restoration or surprise. And so I sit, saddened, quiet, still, and without song. Thank you. So, one keynote talk erased like it never existed. Another keynote talk, though, spoken at the Diverse Voices Conference, was embedded in a colleague's course on workforce diversity as part of the curriculum. Embeddedness. I needed to embed LIFT. And so we did. Here are lessons. Invest in scholarship and truthful accounts anyhow. Pursue meaningful projects with others along your unique journey. Choose to lay a foundation that leaves a blueprint. And believe in the seeding process like wildflowers, which have the appearance of death when they are really just waiting to bloom again. So, the embeddedness of LIFT is the goal. And so our collective LIFT this year as an EC started in this way. With a chair and me sitting in the chair is another story. The challenge to the EC was to remember that though I sit in the chair, the task of the EC is to ensure that whoever sits in the chair after us has an opportunity to do so. And so that's the story behind the story of our collective LIFT with the EC. We operationalize LIFT by asking ourselves questions. What is it that we should envision for our association? What is it that we need to enhance? And how do we sustain our association going forward? We began by looking at our strengths, and we met, talked, discussed, and identified 5 strategic priorities. Those 5 strategic priorities were discussed this morning in our Legislative Assembly from 8 to 10 o'clock. So to be clear, LIFT is not a departure from the strategic plan. It's a supportive mechanism and framework that helped us get a lot accomplished this year. The strategic plan is in its 3rd year, and so we have wonderful EC members and a wonderful governance structure that needed organization and needed an opportunity to assess LIFT. So when we were joined by the other members of the councils and committees at the retreat, in February, we began assessing the extent to which we had made any type of progress. A green dot is most progress, yellow, some progress, red is least progress, no dot means we're not moving and haven't had any progress. Thankfully, we have dots everywhere. We just may not like their colors. If we drill down a little bit more, then you'll see that the dots there for the first goal, according to the February attendees at the retreat, show green for all goals, or all objectives associated with creating conditions to support and empower members. For goal 2, 2.1 is yellow, focusing on enhanced public awareness and understanding about the value of the discipline. In red, those are associated with promoting communication significance and advocacy. 3.1, which is red, suggests that we need greater tools for IDEA. 3.2 was green, suggesting improving structures, programs, practices, and policies are at play. And then in yellow, promoting advocacy for IDEA initiatives and efforts. Goal 4, 4.3, is focused on collaborating with impacted communities for advocacy and ensuring that those collaborations are informed by communication-informed policies and strategies. So we had satisfactorily assessed at this stage what we thought about our strategic plan. The next step was to identify goals. And so we began by asking each council and committee to complete 3 tables. This is the first of the 3 tables associated with the LIFT goals. They decided what they would do. They decided what the LIFT labels were and which of the strategic goals were associated with them. They identified their virtual learning opportunities, and many of you may have attended a VLO throughout the year. And then they also identified website resources to assist with the national office and decided what those goals would be as well. In each instance, we ended up with a combined set of strategies to help us identify where we would go and what would be accomplished this year. And so this is how we embedded LIFT. FC is the Finance Committee, MLC is Mentoring and Leadership Council, Teaching and Learning Council, and then the Research Council, Pub Council, and the Idea Council. So this is how we embedded LIFT. This is how we created LIFT goals. And one of the things that occurred is when we had our Legislative Assembly meeting in April, those individuals were not a part of the February conversation. And you see there that in the LA, things were fairly similar in terms of the way that the LA assessed our strategic plan. However, Goal 1, there was not as much progress, according to the LA, as some of the individuals in the February meeting suggested. So at Legislative Assembly on Wednesday, we heard all of the council chairs give a report out on the things accomplished. They were successful in moving things along, and I won't rehash all of that now, but I want you to know that this is how, thus far, we have assessed our plan, and there's more work, of course, to do in the future. So here are lessons for our collective LIFT this year in 2025. Discover and align team strengths, invite assessment of strategic plan progress, and if you're a leader like me, listen without debate on what those assessments are. Celebrate birthdays with gratitude and appreciation, and then also create an at-a-glance visual dashboard for monitoring strategic plan progress. That goal number 4 is my commitment, or was at least one of my commitments to you as Second VP, and so that is the final thing. You have had VLOs, you have had focus on graduate students during my time, and this digital dashboard of strategic plan progress was the final commitment that I made to you. So what does NCA's future with LIFT look like? I'm glad you asked. Well, look at there. NCA has had, undoubtedly, for the last decade, one of the most diverse group of presidents, perhaps in the association's history. And yet, when we think about LIFT and when we think about leading with imagination and forward thinking, there's a lot more work to be done. I believe that our future will primarily consist of communicative challenges associated with 3 primary areas. And those areas are communications response to human suffering, communications response to technological innovations, and communications response to creating human connection, primarily because of what happens with number 1 and number 2. What happens with associations in the future is that NCA, like many associations, will need to foster personal and professional development, cultivating leadership, helping sustain multiple diverse communities, resolve issues and challenges that members are experiencing, be forward-thinking in initiatives and programs, and be anticipatory, which means identifying and implementing solutions and programming for members, oftentimes before they even know they need them. So, these activities are not about the association. They're about the members. And so associations who meet the needs of members, I believe, will thrive in the future. That also has implications for the type of leaders that we will need in our future. Leaders who are mission-minded, far-sighted, engaged in community, really connected, curious, and delving into the human experience, and who are adaptive. Those leaders who are flexible, open, self-invigorating, individuals who can take care of themselves and do work that fuels them. Otherwise, they will easily be self-depleted. Individuals who are adept at navigating the calm chaos dynamic. And if you don't know what the calm chaos dynamic is, you need to go find my Spectra article that's online. Individuals who are hopeful, individuals who are curious about complexity. Those are the people that I think will thrive and will be successful in the future. And a leader is not just a label. We are all a part of the communication discipline. We are all leaders. We are all NCA by virtue of our membership. So, lessons about LIFT for our future. Associations that are outcome and solution oriented for members will thrive. Expansive leadership will garner followership. Those with movement, focus, and vigor will overtake the stalled, distracted, and weary. And in governance, the chair is not a seat to occupy. It's a legacy gifting role to shepherd now for decades beyond you. Well, we've come close to the end. So when I think about loss, leadership, and legacy, what I think about is what is embedded in LIFT. And one of the things embedded in LIFT is hidden in plain sight. And that's where the song comes in. Are you ready? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. That's all I'm gonna sing. What is the first word of the song? I know it's a violation, but I'm on a time crunch. We've got people getting awards, and I'm the president for now. Yeah. Okay, so what's the first word? Yes, embedded in the year of LIFT is the heritage erased from my talk on Facebook. So we have spent a year honoring my heritage anyhow. And since it's embedded into my design, which I designed and chose to wear as a presidential crest, then when you wear the presidential crest, you not only are supportive of NCA, you are also supportive of the heritage erased in the triumphant community of Tulsa from my talk. That, my friends, is how LIFT is hidden in plain sight. So in conclusion, I believe embedded in every transformative learner's journey is the process of communication, intertwined in every relationship, whether formed, whether being maintained, whether deteriorating, is the process of communication. Enmeshed in the pursuit of religion, democracy, resistance, protest, and so many other things is the process of communication. And so this makes our research important and our pursuit of probing communication in its many forms and facets a lifetime endeavor. This lifetime endeavor translates to a lifetime of needing to lead with imagination and forward thinking. And so the best we can do to secure the future is to shepherd our window of time with excellence, pushing ourselves and those around us to lead with imagination and forward thinking. And that is what I have done as your president. Thank you. All right, you guys are too kind. Thank you for coming. So, one of the beautiful things that I get to do before we begin the presentation of NCA awards is to acknowledge the 2025 Presidential Citation recipients. It's one of the greatest pleasures in my role as president of NCA, and it's also a very humbling opportunity to be able to do. So I would like to take a few moments to recognize some of these individuals. Please join me in celebrating the following NCA members. And Dr. Tina Harris will come to the podium, call their names, and that way they'll have an opportunity to come forward.
I'm going to go off script for 1 second. I'm doing my best to pronounce everyone's names correctly. I'm from the South, so what I'm going to say is charge it to my head and not my heart. So, all right. Okay. In recognition of a distinguished record of scholarship and or mentorship to the discipline of communication, the late Michael Walton Fowl, Maida Carstar Finn, Claude Claude Miller. Bobby Evanoff. Kimberly A. Parker. Brian Houston and Josh Compton. Oh.
Monica gave me script instructions that I'm trying to follow the same with the phrases.
For distinctive service to NCA as an inaugural virtual learning opportunity or VLO presenter. For greater regard for enhancing our mental health and well-being, Vinita Agarwal and Megan Pope. Oh, for greater regard for strengthening communication program reviews and assessment, David M. Ray and Sakile Kamara. For greater regard for engaging and nurturing community, Theon Hill and Brian Crable. For greater regard for early career scholars, Elizabeth S. Parks, Charnene Herbert, Ryan D'Souza, Sean J. Upshaw, Byron Craig, Stephen Rocco, Amy Janan Johnson, Meredith L. Pruden. That should have been Meredith L. Pruden. For greater regard for navigating artificial intelligence, Mohammed Tajvapur and Stefan Bouchard. For greater regard for Palestinian ways of knowing, Walid Afifi and Noor Ghazal Azwad. For greater regard for a fulfilling career, Felicia Harris and Sarah Geegan. For those who could not be in attendance tonight, NCA accepts the citation on their behalf. Congratulations. NCA is now pleased to recognize distinguished achievements in our discipline. Each of this year's award recipients joins an esteemed group of scholars and educators who have been honored in the past for achieving excellence in the areas of teaching, research, and service. The first award this evening is the Donald H. Aykroyd Award for Outstanding Teaching in Higher Education, which is awarded to NCA members who exemplify superlative teaching in higher education. This year, the Aykroyd Award is presented to Tiffany R. Wang from the University of Montevallo. Dr. Wang is an award-winning teacher recognized by state, regional, national, and international associations, along with universities, and is repeatedly noted for the lasting effects of her teaching. Students say, "She taught me the value of my voice, my words, and my thoughts, and that is the greatest lesson I have ever learned." Congratulations, Dr. Wang. The Bernard J. Brummel Award for Outstanding Scholarship or Distinguished Service in Family Communication recognizes the scholarship and academic leadership of individuals who have made outstanding contributions to the area of family communication. This year, the award is presented to Andrew M. Ledbetter from Texas Christian University. Dr. Ledbetter is a prolific scholar, publishing in top journals, numerous book chapters, and co-author of a communication theory textbook. His research ranges from the macro focus of the media on the family to micro interactions in the family. Dr. Ledbetter's exceptional mentoring of his students and extensive service within the National Communication Association are commendable and greatly valued. Dr. Ledbetter could not be in attendance tonight. Dr. Caitlin Phillips accepts the award on his behalf. Congratulations, Dr. Ledbetter. The Charles H. Wilbert Research Award is presented to NCA members who have published a journal article or book chapter that has had a substantial impact on the discipline. This year, the award is presented to R. Kelly Garrett from The Ohio State University for the article, "The Politically Motivated Reinforcement Seeking, Reframing the Selective Exposure Debate," published in the Journal of Communication in 2009. Dr. Garrett's essay addresses an issue that still captures the attention of scholars, students, journalists, politicians, and armchair pundits across the world. His essay presaged 15 years of robust scholarship about digital selective exposure and remains an essential corrective to a common misperception about digital media users. Congratulations, Dr. Garrett. The Diamond Anniversary Book Award is presented to the author of the most outstanding scholarly book published in the last year. This year, the award is presented to Mel Stanfill from University of Central Florida for the book "Fandom is Ugly: Networked Harassment in Participatory Culture," published by New York University Press in 2024. Fandom is Ugly is recognized for its inclusive and timely analysis of the hidden costs of participatory culture. Drawing on vivid case studies from video games, television, film, and politics, Stanfill demonstrates how fan networks that foster creativity and connection can also perpetuate harassment, sexism, racism, and exclusion. This book reshapes how scholars and the public understand the cultural and political stakes of fandom. Congratulations, Dr. Stanfill. The Donald P. Cushman Memorial Award honors the top-ranked student-authored paper from all NCA interest groups that rank papers competitively at the NCA annual convention. This year, the Cushman Award is presented to Julia Simos from the University of Washington for the essay "Fostering Voice, Inviting Dialogic Transformation, Exploring Emergent Communication Practices and Community Collaboration Efforts." Julia Simos's essay stood out for its innovation in addressing societal issues. This essay contributes to the literature exploring the rhetorical challenges of gun reform, emphasizing the importance of marginalized voices and incorporating them into its methodological approach. Doing so enhances understanding of community building, immigration, and political polarization, demonstrating how research can foster meaningful social change. Congratulations, Julia Simos. The Douglas W. Inninger Distinguished Rhetorical Scholar Award honors scholars who have executed rich programs in rhetorical theory, rhetorical criticism, or public address studies that demonstrate intellectual creativity, determination, and impact on academic communities. The recipient of the Inninger Award is Casey Kelly from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Dr. Kelly's work examines how niche claims of apocalyptic victimhood moved into mainstream politics. His scholarly impact is evident not only in his publications and citation record, but also in his service as an editor and reviewer. His work exemplifies the creativity, rigor, and influence recognized by the Ehninger Award. Congratulations, Dr. Kelly. The Franklin S. Hayman Award for Distinguished Scholarship in Freedom of Expression is given to the authors of exemplary research published in the area of freedom of expression. This year, the award is presented to Ge Chen from Durham University Law School for the article, The Constitutional Rise of Chinese Speech Imperialism, published in the Journal of Free Speech in 2023. Dr. Chen's ambitious, rigorous scholarship illustrates China's constitutional doctrine of party supremacy with implications for freedom of expression domestically and internationally. Dr. Chen traces early constitutional developments that led to a doctrine of Chinese Communist Party supremacy and analyzes how this framework is applied transnationally as a form of CCP speech imperialism through mechanisms involving trade and digital authoritarianism. Congratulations, Dr. Chen. The Gerald R. Miller Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award recognizes the most outstanding dissertations completed the previous year. This year, 3 awards are being presented. The first Miller Award is presented to L.D. Matson from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for the dissertation Trust Building Communication and Climate Risk Decision Making, completed at Arizona State University. Dr. Matson makes a powerful contribution to trust research generally and climate risk communication specifically. He develops a novel, empirically validated two-factor model of trustworthiness and tests strategic messaging to promote heat preparedness behaviors, offering urgently needed strategies to strengthen public resilience against climate change. Congratulations, Dr. Matson. The second Gerald R. Miller Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award is presented to Robin M. Sundaramurthy. Oh, good, thank you. From Lehigh University. For the dissertation, Black Radio Ownership and the FCC's failed attempt to diversify the airwaves, completed at the University of Maryland. Dr. Sundaramurthy uncovers and examines the Federal Communication Commission's Docket 8090, which enabled the first Black-owned radio stations in the 1970s. Drawing on an archive of more than 7,000 documents and 50 oral history interviews, Sundaramurthy insightfully reveals how government policy fostered these stations as well as the individual owners' experience running their stations. Congratulations, Dr. Sundaramurthy. The third Gerald R. Miller Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award is presented to Katrina T. Weber from the University of Connecticut. For the dissertation, You're Already Black, so you're already, I added things. You're already black, so you're halfway doomed. Discourses impacting access to care among Black women and Black gender-expansive individuals with disordered eating and eating disorders, completed at the University of Connecticut. Dr. Weber's dissertation articulates how the experiences of marginalized individuals in a racist and fat-phobic healthcare system perceive care and the ways in which communication discourse reify or resist existing power structures. The rich nuances explored in the dissertation come as a result of the 46 in-depth interviews and the pronetic, iterative approach to analysis. Congratulations, Dr. Weber. The Global Communication Award recognizes communication scholars who have demonstrated outstanding scholarship and notable service in the area of global communication. The award is presented to Ichia Basnet from George Mason University. Dr. Basnet embodies the award's spirit through pioneering efforts to de-Westernize communication research and center Global South voices. Her work in health communication in South Asia integrates local knowledge systems and emphasizes community perspectives. Beyond research, she amplifies non-Western viewpoints within NCA and mentors emerging global health communication scholars. Congratulations, Dr. Basnet. The Golden Anniversary Monograph Award is presented to the most outstanding scholarly monograph published during the previous calendar year. This year, the award is presented to Attila Hosby from the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, for their article, A Copious Void, Rhetoric as Artificial Intelligence, version 1.0, published in Rhetoric Society Quarterly in 2024. Dr. Hosby describes the ways in which we are losing our communicative traditions to a world of AI that perpetuates the dominant voices used to train the computer system. The idea of AI as a copious void gives a new way of imagining the negative aspects of rhetoric, weaving classical rhetorical theory, contemporary digital studies, critical race theory, and technical understandings of artificially intelligent systems into a cohesive framework. Congratulations, Dr. Hosby. The James A. Winans Herbert A. Wichels, Memorial Award for Distinguished Scholarship in Rhetoric and Public Address was established by students, colleagues, and admirers of these two distinguished Cornell University professors to honor scholarship in rhetoric and public address. This year, the Winans-Wichels Award is presented to Caitlin Francis Bruce from the University of Pittsburgh for the book Voices in Aerosol, Youth Culture, Institutional Attunement, and Graffiti in Urban Mexico, published by the University of Texas Press in 2024. Voices in Aerosol stands out for its thoughtful exploration of how youth in Mexico use graffiti as a form of public expression and resistance. Dr. Bruce's innovative combination of rhetorical theory, urban studies, and visual culture challenges traditional notions of public address, expanding the field's boundaries by incorporating nonverbal forms of communication. Dr. Bruce could not be in attendance tonight. Dr. Paul Johnson accepts this award on her behalf. Congratulations, Dr. Bruce. The James L. Golden Outstanding Student Essay in Rhetoric Award recognizes an outstanding essay by an undergraduate or pre-master's graduate student. This year, the Golden Award is presented to Jana Subre from the University of Maryland, College Park. For the essay, His Sexual Preference is Rookie of the Year. Jared McCain, Hegemonic Masculinities and Neoliberal Exceptionalism in the NBA. Subre's essay analyzes the existence of neoliberal exceptionalism in sports culture through the case of NBA player Jared McCain. This paper examines McCain's gender expression using theories of hegemonic masculinity, neoliberalism, sports rhetoric in juxtaposition with his athletic accomplishments and the resulting ideological paradox for sports fans. Congratulations, Gina Subre. The Carl R. Wallace Memorial Award seeks to promote and foster philosophical, historical, or critical scholarship in rhetoric and public discourse. This year, the Wallace Award is presented to Joe Edward Hatfield from the University of Arkansas for the project Leela Alcorn, Digital Memorial Images 2014-2018. The Wallace Award will support Professor Hatfield's printing and binding of Leela Alcorn Digital Memorial Images 2014-2018, centered on trans, suicide, and visibility. Leela contributes meaningfully to a matter of deep public significance and urgency, and extends Hatfield's expert curation of a digital archive of Leila Alcorn's life, death, and rhetorical afterlife in his other work. Dr. Hatfield could not be in attendance tonight. NCA accepts this award on his behalf. Congratulations, Dr. Hatfield. The Lawrence R. Fry Award for Distinguished Communication and Social Justice Activism Research recognizes an NCA member whose body of work has contributed significantly to the study of communication and social justice activism. The inaugural recipient of the award is Mohan Dutta from Massey University of New Zealand. Dr. Dutta's discipline-defining theoretical work on the culture-centered approach has been taken up across the field of applied communication to intervene in unjust discourses and deliver material benefits to vulnerable communities in numerous contexts. Dr. Dutta's commitment to addressing the harms of colonialism and decolonizing our own field reveals his impressive ability to navigate the world of the researcher and the activist. Dr. Dutta could not be in attendance tonight and was presented this award by Dr. Lawrence Fry yesterday. Congratulations, Dr. Dutta. The Leslie Irene Koger Award for Distinguished Performance is presented to a director, producer, teacher, and performer who manifests a superior career dedicated to performance. This year, the Koger Award is presented to Andrea M. Baldwin from Texas A&M University. Over the past decade, Dr. Baldwin has crafted a thriving performance culture, revitalized the Petite Jean Performance Festival post-pandemic, and expanded access and impact through visionary leadership, dynamic artistry, and thoughtful mentorship. Dr. Baldwin exemplifies the spirit of the Koger Award and the transformative power of performance. Congratulations, Dr. Baldwin. The Lilla A. Heston Award for Outstanding Scholarship in Interpretation and Performance Studies recognizes NCA members who have published research and creative scholarship in interpretation and performance studies. This year, the award is presented to Patrick McKelvey from the University of Notre Dame for the book Disability Works, Performance After Rehabilitation, published by New York University Press in 2024. Dr. McKelvey offers a cultural history of disability performance that positions vocational rehabilitation as a central force shaping U.S. disability, queer, and labor politics from the 1960s onward. By focusing on aesthetic practices and infrastructures like activist organizations, federal programs, and training schools, this book expands performance studies, methodological repertoire, carving a critical intersection between disability studies, labor history, and performance theory. Dr. McKelvey could not be in attendance tonight. NCA accepts this award on his behalf. Congratulations, Dr. McKelvey. The Mark L. Knapp Award in Interpersonal Communication recognizes an individual who has made significant scholarly contributions to the study of interpersonal communication. The Knapp Award is presented to Mike Allen from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Dr. Allen has made substantial contributions to the interpersonal communication field throughout his nearly 40-year career. His expertise in social influence and innovations in meta-analysis have fostered theoretical and practical advancements, having published 9 books and over 150 articles, thereby placing him in the top 2% of global research scholars. Congratulations, Dr. Allen. The Marsha Houston Award honors a junior to mid-level career woman scholar whose scholarship and research, teaching and service and advocacy to academia and their local communities embodies critically examining social justice issues, diversity, inclusion, and equity. This year, the recipient of the Houston Award is Manushka Celeste from the University of Illinois, Chicago. Dr. Celeste's research poses necessary challenges to communication studies scholarship, embracing transdisciplinary perspectives and embodied cultural experiences. Her work, both scholarly and pedagogical, brings together the voices of marginalized groups, powerfully altering how we see the importance of such groups in communication theorizing. Dr. Celeste genuinely values and supports her mentees, especially when they're facing daunting challenges. Congratulations, Dr. Celeste. The Stephen E. Lucas Debut Publication Award recognizes new scholars in the communication discipline who have published their first scholarly book or essay that has potential to open new fields or influence research in the discipline. This year's Lucas Award is presented to Lauren N. Seitz from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. For the article, Fighting the Terrible Poison of Terrorism, Marine Le Pen's Rhetoric of Ethnicism and Islamophobia, published in the Rhetoric and Public Affairs in 2024. I'm sorry, I had more. Dr. Seitz examines ethnicism or cultural racism and the persuasive appeal in 5 of Marine Le Pen's speeches between 2015 and 2018. Using rhetorical strategies, Seitz analyzes Le Pen's construction of France as an almost mythical national community home, as well as her depiction of Muslims as a threat to the French nation. Congratulations, Dr. Seitz. The IDEA Engagement Award recognizes efforts and activities to engage communities in work that enhances inclusion, diversity, equity, and access. This year, the IDEA Engagement Award goes to Mark J. Congdon, Jr. from Sacred Heart University. Dr. Congdon has led 25 service learning courses with nonprofits, civic groups, and global NGOs, generating over $235,000 in community impact and strengthening students' civic engagement. Through the Uniting Hearts Initiative, which he co-founded, he links communication theory with social justice action. As a board member of U.S. El Salvador's Sister Cities, he works with rural Salvadoran organizers to develop strategic communication approaches for immigration advocacy, environmental justice, and democracy building. Dr. Congdon could not be in attendance tonight. Kendall Lissy accepts the award on his behalf. Congratulations, Dr. Congdon. The IDEA Scholarship Award offers recognition for scholarly engagement within a lens of inclusion, diversity, equity, and access. This year's award is presented to Sudeshna Roy from Marquette University. In an era where IDEA principles face increasing resistance in the U.S., Dr. Roy exemplifies how to sustain justice-oriented scholarship with integrity, innovation, and global solidarity through her research in diaspora studies, intercultural communication, and media justice. As co-editor of the forthcoming Oxford Encyclopedia of Race, Ethnicity, and Communication, and the Handbook of Communication and Media in the Global South, she is actively reshaping the epistemological foundations of our discipline. Congratulations, Dr. Roy. The Everett Hughes Holly Award for Social Justice and Community Engagement recognizes individual communication scholars and professionals whose work centers community service and applied scholarship that promotes democracy, diversity, and creative expression. The Holly Award is presented to Leandra H. Hernandez from the University of Utah. Dr. Hernandez's visionary work bridges scholarship, advocacy, and community engagement, from mentoring students to co-founding the Salt Lake Area Queer Climbers. Equally, her leadership and service across multiple NCA divisions and caucuses embody the award's mission to dehumanize difference, champion inclusion, and create democratic, equitable outcomes. She has created pathways of representation and belonging for queer and BIPOC communities. Congratulations, Dr. Hernandez. The Samuel L. Becker Distinguished Service Award recognizes individuals who have made the greatest contributions in the areas of research, teaching, and service. This year, the Becker Award is presented to Roseanne Manzik from Texas State University. Dr. Manzik has served the communication discipline as an NCA member for nearly 40 years, including as president of NCA 2022 and the Southern States Communication Association 2017. She has served on the editorial board of 8 different communication journals and over a dozen NCA committees and councils. Dr. Manzik has also represented the field internationally as both 2-time Fulbright Scholar and Selection Committee member. Congratulations, Dr. Manzik. The Gerald R. Phillips Award for Distinguished Applied Communication Scholarship recognizes NCA members with a distinguished record of research and creative scholarship on applied communication. This year, the Phillips Award is presented to Catherine Green from Rutgers University. Dr. Green's research explores health decision-making across stigmatizing issues and health disparities. Her work on disclosure and privacy management led to the disclosure decision-making model. She also developed and applied the theory of active involvement to understand how young people can be prevented from initiating substance abuse, which was used to develop real media programs adapted by 4-H and DARE. Congratulations, Dr. Green. The Distinguished Scholar Award recognizes and rewards a lifetime of scholarly achievement in the study of communication. The recipients of this award showcase our profession through their long-term commitment to the discipline and their consistent contributions of outstanding scholarship and intellectual leadership. It is my pleasure and honor to present the 2025 NCA Distinguished Scholars. Our first Distinguished Scholar is Catherine Green from Rutgers University. Dr. Green is a preeminent scholar in health communication, renowned for her groundbreaking research on health decision-making, disclosure, and risk prevention. A professor at Rutgers University since 2000, Dr. Green has authored over 120 peer-reviewed articles and multiple award-winning books, including Privacy and Disclosure of HIV and Interpersonal Relationships, which earned top honors from NCA. Her work explores how individuals navigate the complexities of sharing or concealing health information, particularly in stigmatized contexts, and how communication strategies can reduce health disparities. Excuse me. Ooh. Dr. Green has secured over $14 million in external funding, including major grants from the NIH and NIDA, and has served as principal investigator, co-investigator, and mentor on numerous interdisciplinary projects. Her innovative interventions, such as the Real Media Curriculum, have been nationally recognized for their effectiveness in adolescent substance use prevention. A 2024 Fellow of the International Communication Association, Dr. Green has received numerous accolades, including the 2023 Outstanding Health and Interpersonal Communication Scholar Awards. Her mentorship has shaped the careers of many emerging scholars, and her service to academia and community health organizations underscores her commitment to equity and impact. Dr. Green's prolific, influential, and socially engaged scholarship distinguishes her as a leader in the field. Congratulations, Dr. Green. Our second distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Waleed A. Afifi from the University of California, Santa Barbara. Dr. Afifi has a stellar record in the areas of research, teaching, and service. His outstanding and prolific research agenda focuses on the experience of uncertainty and its impact on information seeking, decision-making, and well-being. This resulted in the publication of The Theory of Motivated Information Management and is currently being extended to the context of communities experiencing chronic uncertainty through the development of the Chronic Uncertainty Framework. He is one of the leading scholars in this area of research worldwide. He teaches classes related to community engagement, interpersonal communication, nonverbal communication, relational communication, and uncertainty. In recognition of his outstanding teaching, he received the University of California, Santa Barbara's Faculty Senate Teaching Award. His impressive service record includes serving as the current Associate Dean and Director of Community Engaged Initiatives in the Division of Social Sciences at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and is serving as the past president of NCA, where he founded the first Southwest Asia and North Africa Caucus, or SWANA, to support and mentor junior faculty and graduate students from minority backgrounds. In appreciation of his impressive scholarly and service record, he has been selected as an ICA, International Communication Association, Fellow in 2021. Congratulations, Dr. Afifi. Our third distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Karen Vasby Anderson from Colorado State University. Dr. Anderson, professor of communication studies at Colorado State University, stands as a leading authority on gender and the U.S. presidency, with her scholarship fundamentally shaping the study of women's political rhetoric in both campaigns and popular media. Her research has received top honors from multiple scholarly organizations and is widely recognized beyond academia, including 750,000 reads for her articles in The Conversation and many other numerous media appearances in publications such as The Atlantic, The Guardian, and Time. As editor of the Quarterly Journal of Speech during a time of crisis and transformation, Dr. Anderson revolutionized the journal's editorial practices, dramatically increasing diversity and the inclusion of decolonial, anti-racist, and feminist perspectives, resulting in a significant impact factor increase. Beyond her research, her commitment to graduate education is exemplary. She has mentored hundreds of students, launched an innovative PhD program, and received multiple mentoring awards. Dr. Anderson has also contributed significantly to professional service, chairing divisions, and serving on editorial boards within NCA. Renowned for her professorial caring and dedication to justice and equity, Dr. Anderson embodies the spirit and distinction honored by the NCA Distinguished Scholar Award. Congratulations, Dr. Anderson. Our fourth distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Mark Orby from Western Michigan University. Dr. Orby is a distinguished scholar whose prolific career in communication studies has significantly shaped the fields of intercultural, interpersonal, and co-cultural communication. With a PhD from Ohio University, Dr. Orby has held faculty positions at Indiana University Southeast and Western Michigan University, where he currently serves as Professor of Communication and Diversity. He's widely recognized for developing co-cultural theory, a groundbreaking framework that explores the communicative strategies of marginalized groups. His scholarship includes over a dozen books, such as Constructing Co-Cultural Theory and Interracial Communication Theory into Practice, and more than 100 peer-reviewed articles and book chapters addressing race, identity, media representation, and social justice. Dr. Orby's work has earned numerous accolades, including multiple Outstanding Book and Article Awards from NCA, and he has served in editorial roles for leading journals. His commitment to mentoring is evident through extensive teaching awards and service on dozens of dissertation and thesis committees. Throughout his research, teaching, and community engagement, Dr. Orby exemplifies scholarly excellence and advocacy, making him a leading voice in communication studies and a transformative figure in promoting equity and inclusion. Congratulations, Dr. Orby. Our fifth distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Angurad Valdivia, Professor Emerita from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Dr. Valdivia is a highly influential scholar in critical cultural, feminist, and Latin media studies, whose career spans over 2 decades since earning her PhD. As one of the few full Latina professors in media and communication studies in the U.S., she stands as a leading and prolific voice, having published 8 books, edited collections, encyclopedias, more than 60 articles and 40 book chapters central to the field. Dr. Valdivia's innovative scholarship has been recognized through her appointment as Editor-in-Chief of Communication Theory, a top-tier journal, and she continues to shape the discipline with her upcoming edited collections on critical media studies and Latinx girlhood and popular culture. Her dedication to mentorship is nationally and internationally renowned, supporting graduate students particularly focused on advancing Latina communication and media studies, and fostering growth from individual guidance to group and programmatic development. Dr. Valdivia's distinguished service includes leadership on editorial boards and administrative positions, reflecting her respected standing and her ability to excel as a researcher, teacher, administrator, and mentor in the communication discipline. Congratulations, Dr. Valdivia. That's right. And she is also a 2021 ICA Fellow. Please join me in one more round of applause for all of the 2025 National Award winners.
Okay, one quick announcement. I would like all the distinguished scholars, when we have concluded, to come to the front to see me before you leave, please. And then finally, before we go, it is my honor to pass the symbolic NCA presidential torch to someone who is admired, respected, and appreciated for her own distinguished record of scholarship and for her commitment of mentorship within our discipline. Dr. Tina Harris. Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris, under your leadership, I know that NCA will continue to thrive as we work to fulfill the goals of our strategic plan. have a phenomenal 2026 NCA presidency.
Thank you.
I don't know how you're carrying all this, so I'll just
yeah,
slide it.
yeah, I don't know either.
Okay.
I really don't know what to say because I have never really seen myself as a leader, but those of you who voted, I don't think you know what a leader is either because you put me in this spot. But, I just see myself as somebody who wants to, I know this may sound cliche, but to lift as we climb and for us to do it as a community. You're looking at somebody who many years ago, someone wrote me a letter. It was a then professor who told me that I did not belong in graduate school. I don't know where they are now. I don't know if they're still in the field, but I am here. I am here because of you all. And I'm looking out and I see so many familiar faces. I would not be here if it weren't for you all. And I'm here because of my family. I have my best friends and my god sister right here in the front row. But I'm here because of my parents. And because of the gifts that they saw in me that I didn't know that I had, and I think I still have them, but but some of you have either heard me speak somewhere or you know me, personally. You'll know that I wanted to be a cosmetologist when I was graduating from high school. College was not on my radar. I love hair, nails, fashion. And I told my mom I was going to cosmetology school, and she told me, "You are not. You are going to college." And I was like, "Oh my God, why am I going to college?" So here we are. Oh God, I just did the math. 40 years later, and I have not let go. And to be clear, I graduated high school when I was 3. So all things are possible. All things. But on a serious note, I love you all. I don't know if that should be in a, no, whatever. I'm going to say it anyway. I love each and every one of you all. And I always say, if there's anything that I can do for you, please let me know. That is not just on an interpersonal level, but now I'm taking it up another level and doing it on a bigger scale, with our organization. It's all of us. We are in this together. And so on that note, thank you all for a great conference, and I look forward to taking us even higher in the years to come. Good night. Ooh.